coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including new details on a hit-and-run arrest in Milford, headstones vandalized at a Weston cemetery, and much more. Frank Granito will have a look at your forecast, and later on a Nutmeg Sports Update. And Donald Lang joins us later to take a look back on this day in history. But first, new details today on that hit-and-run arrest in Milford. As we reported yesterday, Milford police have arrested a suspect in that accident that seriously injured a woman last year as she was leaving her waitressing job. That accident initially took place on Sunday, August 28, 2016, at about 10:45 at night in the area of Bridgeport Avenue and Woodland Avenue. Amanda Keene, then 34 years old, was leaving her job as a waitress at the Bridge House when she was hit by the car. This week, police said they obtained an arrest warrant for 30-year-old Antonia Pierce of Bridgeport and charged her in connection with that accident. According to police, someone who knows Pierce contacted Milford police 3 months after the accident. The person had seen video footage that police released of the car that left the scene, and he noticed that Pierce's car had been damaged at about that time. With that information, Milford police were able to seize the car and examine it forensically. Police officer Michael DeVito said the car had damage that matched the damage that police were looking for. Police also had a piece of the car that was involved in that hit and run. DeVito said the damage had been fixed by a less-than-great body shop, meaning that it was still visible when police got hold of the car. Police also learned that Pierce had been living about 1.5 miles from where that accident occurred, but shortly after, she left in a hurry, noting that she left some of her possessions behind. Pierce is charged with reckless driving, evading responsibility, and assault. She was released on a $10,000 bond to appear in Milford court on June 13th. A police press release notes that Amanda Keene still suffers from the injuries she received in that accident. The community rallied around her, helping to raise money for her medical costs after the hit and run. But you can get a lot more at milfordmirror.com. And Seymour detectives are attempting to identify the female seen in surveillance photos. Take a look. Police say she is wanted for questioning in connection to a fraud and larceny investigation. You can find contact information at the Seymour Police Facebook page. They say all tips will remain confidential. And in other news, this morning, police are searching for a missing 30-year-old man in a Wallingford park Tuesday morning. News 8 reports there are several police officers and police canines on Northwood Road after the car of a missing man was found near the Tyler Mill Preserve. A helicopter is also assisting in that search. The unidentified Wallingford man was reported missing to police on Monday night, and his family last made contact with him on Sunday. And the Lake Zor Authority issued a public health warning that blue-green algae is likely to present a threat to swimmers and pets in the forthcoming recreational season. The Lake Zor Authority said the threat level is contingent on the weather. A dry season intensifies the toxicity, and a rainy climate diminishes the hazard, diluting the presence of the bacteria-like growth. Now, exposure in high levels is a suspected cause of illnesses as severe as ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, in humans, a neurodegenerative disease, and can be fatal to pets and livestock, according to the Lake Zor Authority. The algae floats on the surface of the water and looks like green paint. Runoff from fertilizer, chemicals, and waste elevates that pollution. The algae was detected 2 seasons ago, and its presence grew substantially last season. The authorities' 2 police patrol boats are also being prepared for the Memorial Day weekend start, and 4 communities, Newtown, Monroe, Oxford, and Southbury, share that 909-acre lake. You can get more at monroecourier.com. And Weston police responded to a call at Coley Cemetery on Weston Road about vandalism to headstones. A caller stated that while visiting the cemetery on Mother's Day, he noticed his great-grandmother's stone and the stones of distant relatives were broken. Although the weather was windy the day before, the caller said the stone markers were completely knocked over, which suggests they were defaced in an act of vandalism. There are no suspects at this time. Residents with any information are urged to contact the Weston Police at 203-222-2600. And with the Memorial Day weekend coming, the National Click It or Ticket Enforcement Campaign takes place now through June 4th, and local police departments are part of that effort. The current fine for adults who are not wearing a seatbelt while traveling in a vehicle is $92. All passengers under 18 years old are also required to wear seatbelts, even passengers who are sitting in the rear of the car. The current seatbelt fine for those under 18 years old is $120. Now, the #1 cause of death for children and teens in the U.S. is traffic crashes. Statistics show an average of 1 fatality every 14 minutes and 1 injury every 13 seconds due to car crashes. Statistics also show that vehicle passengers have a 77% chance of surviving a fatal car crash if they are properly seatbelted. And in Ridgefield, a closed-door executive session interview for the fire chief vacancy is on the agenda when the Board of Selectmen meets as the Fire Commission on Wednesday. There's also a selectmen's meeting in executive session Wednesday where the board will privately discuss a possible purchase of land in Ridgebury. Both meetings will also include public session discussions and are at the Katuna Street Firehouse in the upstairs conference room rather than at the usual meeting room in Town Hall. The board is scheduled to meet as the selectmen at 6 p.m. and as the Fire Commission at 6:30. Both executive sessions are followed by public session meetings with a possible vote on the 2 agenda items, the fire chief and the Ridgebury land purchase. But you can get much more at theridgefieldpress.com. Switch gears, throw it over to Frank Granito now for a look at the forecast. Frank, not a lot of great news this week.
Well, we're looking at a couple of bright days coming our way. It should be warmer out today. Temperatures are back on the rise, an expected high of 71 degrees this afternoon, but that number is going to feel closer to 80 with the humidity. We're staring down intervals of sun and clouds through the late afternoon before increasing cloud cover later on this evening when the boys lacrosse semifinals get underway from Brian McMahon. Overcast tonight, and there is a chance for a couple passing showers before Wednesday morning. Early clouds tomorrow morning will make way for partly sunny skies through the afternoon. Temperatures in the mid to high 70s and a little less humid out compared to today. Again, we're going to see increasing cloud cover later in the evening. There's a chance for passing showers overnight that could carry into Thursday. And you're right, Kate, more rain expected for Thursday. Periods of on and off showers all day long, heavier showers and possible thunderstorms moving in later in the day. They're going to carry overnight into Friday morning, but we should see some more sun back in the sky by the midday to start this holiday weekend. So we'll keep an eye on that, and hopefully things will clear up before we hit the lacrosse championship Thursday night.
So much, Frank. Well, we are going to step out for a break, and when we come back, Donald Eng joins us to take a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and there's more local news after this.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Sign-ups are now open for one of our most popular programs, the New England 80 Elite Lacrosse Division I and Division III showcases. With D1 and D3 coaches in attendance, players will receive a 60-minute webinar with Director of Recruiting Hans Hansen, a custom NE80 penny, custom shorts, and a video of all games. Last year's event sold out quickly, so sign up now for the next showcase coming in January 2018. Like and follow us on Facebook.
When it comes to considering the outside of your home, just imagine the possibilities. Whether your dream is a stunning freeform pool or a tranquil, secluded garden, the team of professionals at Stonebridge Associates will make it a reality. We offer unparalleled landscape design and construction, masonry development, pools, spas, and water features, as well as landscape and garden maintenance. No other firm can offer the same level of creativity, quality, and personal attention. Discover the possibilities at stonebridgeassociates.net or call 203-544-8376 today.
At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
Pizza to satisfy even the most demanding critics. Choosy Pazza Pizza.
Welcome back to this May 23rd edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and it's time to take a look back on this date in history with Donald Eng. Don.
Well, Kate, a brazen act of violence turns the tide in a war on crime. First, though, speaking of crime, we go to 1701. After being convicted of piracy and murder, Captain William Kidd is hanged in London. Kidd had been commissioned as a pirate hunter in England, but after most of his crew was pressed into service in the Royal Navy, he filled out the ranks with Long Islanders, legendarily criminals. The crew then insisted on attacking an Armenian treasure ship, which he was most certainly not authorized to do. Before turning himself in, Kidd is thought to have buried the treasure from the Armenian ship. The hunt for it goes on to this day. To 1900 now, Sergeant William Harvey Carney awarded the Medal of Honor for his heroism in the assault on Battery Wagner in 1863. He is credited with being the first African-American Medal of Honor winner. If you saw the movie Glory, the Denzel Washington and Morgan Freeman characters were loosely based on Carney, a member of the 54th Massachusetts. He grabbed an American flag from a mortally wounded soldier and continued to advance despite being shot 4 times. When stretcher bearers finally got him back to the field hospital, he was still holding the flag. He recovered and lived 45 more years. 1911, the New York Public Library is dedicated. Fur trader and real estate mogul John Jacob Astor provided the initial funding of $400,000, the equivalent of $11 million today. The library now contains 54 million items in its collection, making it the 4th largest and largest non-national library in the world. At 18 million visitors per year, it is also by far the busiest. Finally, now we go to 1992.
Sono le prime drammatiche immagini che ci giungono da Palermo e che ci danno la misura della violenza dell'esplosione. Le macchine sono state scaraventate a decine di metri di distanza. L'asfalto è stato divelto per 50 metri.
If you don't speak Italian, you're watching news footage of the investigation. Italy's most prominent anti-mafia judge, Giovanni Falcone, his wife and 3 bodyguards killed on this day in 1992 by the Corleone clan with a half-ton bomb that destroyed the bridge connecting the town of Palermo with its airport. The Italian government awarded him the gold medal for civil valor. The death of Falcone and fellow Judge Paolo Brissolano resulted in an anti-mafia crackdown that is estimated to have reduced the organization's power in Sicily by more than 80%. So that is your look back in history for today, May 23rd, and I'm Donald Eng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, the town of Easton has a new traffic control policy that provides some flexibility on whether a utility such as United Illuminating has to hire an Easton police officer to be on site for work being done along the road. The revised regulation, recently approved by the Board of Police Commissioners, essentially sets up a 3-tier system for deciding whether an officer must be hired by public utilities and private contractors. Some designated roads in Easton will require a police officer and a vehicle. Some roads will just require an officer, and on other roads, only a less expensive privately hired flagger may be used. For roads where an officer isn't mandated, police personnel will still decide on a case-by-case basis whether a flagger would be sufficient based on such factors as weather and the time of day that the work will be performed. All right, let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. We were live at Norwalk's Testa Field last night for the girls lacrosse semifinals. First game up was the number 6 Ridgefield Tigers and number 2 New Canaan. Ridgefield, for the first time ever, will be playing for an FCIAC championship. The 6th seed pulling off the upset of number 2, 14-11, behind 5 goals from the junior Caroline Colonel, who was so dominant from start to finish. The Tigers jumped out to a 5-0 lead in this one before the Rams would get onto the board. It was a 10-8 game at halftime, got down to as little as 10-9 at the start of the second half, but freshman goalie Lexi held so dominant down the stretch. provided the necessary defense to push the Tigers over the top. They will be taking on the number 1 Darien Blue Wave as they continue to roll in this postseason, a 23-4 win over number 5 Staples. Darien got goals from 10 different players in this game. Give a lot of credit to Staples goaltender Alexa Morrow, who kept this one as close as it was. Without her, the Wave might have hit 30 or 40 on the scoreboard as they were firing on all cylinders. Darien will be looking for their 6th consecutive FCAC championship. They are currently outscoring their opponents 47-7 in this postseason. That was last night. That championship game is Wednesday at Norwalk at 7 p.m. Tonight, we are at Brian McMahon. 5 o'clock, it'll be Ridgefield and Greenwich in the first boys semifinal. 7:30, Darien and Wilton. We'll have plenty more on those games on Nutmeg Sports this afternoon. We'll also have highlights of the girls semifinals from last night. That'll do it for this Nutmeg Sports update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, a company's challenge to a ruling clearing the way for a renovation of Stratford High School is up for review by the state's appellate court. Reef LLC's petition for certification to the appellate court to appeal its case against the town's Zoning Board of Appeals was approved on May 17th. Attorney Barry Knott said he will file the appeal on June 5th. Reef LLC, which owns the car wash at 311 and 341 King Street next door to Stratford High, had appealed the Zoning Board of Appeals' approval of 6 variances that allowed for the renovation of the high school. In February, a judge rejected Reef LLC's challenge of the Zoning Board of Appeals approvals. You can get more on that story at StratfordStar.com. And Connecticut's Beardsley Zoo has welcomed 2 Canada Lynx kittens born on April 26th. The babies have yet to have their first exam by the zoo's veterinarian, as their mother is still extremely protective and the zoo staff is respecting her need for privacy for several more weeks. Now, the 2 kittens appear to be healthy, and a quick peek into their den show that their eyes are open. Zoo director Greg Dancho said at just 3 weeks old, it will be a while before the kittens venture out in public. They are just starting to explore the world around them. Dancho remarked that it's especially rewarding to announce the birth of the lynx kittens on Endangered Species Day. Dancho said this birth is very significant for the zoo and that it is the first for them. The lynx are among the favorite animals at the zoo. Their behavior is so entertaining for guests that they never get tired of watching them. Now, anyone interested in naming those kittens can bid on the opportunity at the auction at the Wild Wine Safari on June 3rd. Well, we are going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following today on your coffee break after this.
Part of banking well is doing good. That's why, with the support of local community partners, Bankwell has launched the Bankwell Pet Adoption Project to boost awareness about the hundreds of animals in local shelters that need a home. And when you donate to the cause using the Bankwell self-service coin machines, we'll match your donation. For details, visit mybankwell.com/pleaseadoptme. Bank smart, bank local, bank well.
Spring has sprung at Walter Stewart's Market, and we're celebrating the new season with fresh takes on spring. From the finest produce around to guaranteed fresh seafood delivered daily by the best local supplier. Not only are we your time-saving one-stop shop for everything you need this season, our personable team is always ready with a helping hand. Shop Stewart's for the best of spring. Find us at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
The new fishing season is fast approaching, so it's time to head over to the dock shop and get your gear in order. We're now offering bait in both Darien and our Westport location. The dock shop can service and repair your rods and reels, spool up new line, and fill any empty space you might have in your tackle box. Whether you're a fisherman, boater, or beach bum, the dock shop is a unique place to shop. The dock shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
Did you know heart attacks and strokes are the leading cause of death in America? Protect the health of you and your loved ones. Talk to a doctor about heart disease. Hi, I'm Dr. David Pazer with ProHealth Physicians, encouraging you to stay informed about health matters that affect you.
ProHealth Physicians is on the pulse of social media to share information about health and nutrition with the community. Get up-to-the-minute alerts, including ProHealth Physicians' news and upcoming events. Connecticut's leading group of primary care doctors is just a click away.
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
I can't believe it.
Well, Dad, you did it. You sold 160 cars. Ready to go back upstairs now?
I think it's time. I wonder how the boys are making out in their new office.
Not what I had in mind, Kyle. What, Dad?
Maybe we should retire. Right now, lease a 2017 Rogue S for only $139 a month. Isn't it time you got Millerized?
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network, and we've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to this Tuesday edition of your coffee break on the HAN network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. New details on that hit and run arrest in Milford. As we reported yesterday, Milford police arrested a suspect in that accident that seriously injured a woman as she was leaving her waitressing job. That accident took place back on Sunday, August 28, 2016 at 10:45 at night in the area of Bridgeport Avenue and Woodland Avenue. Amanda Keene, at the time 34, was leaving her job as a waitress at the Bridge House when she was hit by a car. This week, police say they obtained an arrest warrant for 30-year-old Antonia Pierce of Bridgeport and charged her in connection with that accident. According to police, someone who knows Pierce contacted the police department 3 months after the accident. The person had seen video footage that police had released of the car that left the scene, and he noticed that Pierce's car had been damaged at that same time. With that information, Milford police were able to seize the car and examine it forensically. Milford police officer Michael DeVito said the car had damage that matched the damage that police were looking for. Police also had a piece of the car that was involved in the accident. DeVito said the damage had been fixed by a less than great body shop, so the damage was still visible when police got hold of the car. Police also learned that Pierce had been living about 1.5 miles from where that accident occurred, but shortly after, she left in a hurry, DeVito said, noting that she left some of her possessions behind. Pierce is now charged with reckless driving, evading responsibility, and assault. She was released on a $10,000 bond to appear in Milford Court on June 13th. A police press release notes that Amanda Keene still suffers from the injuries she received in that accident. The community rallied around her, helping to raise money for her medical costs after that accident. You can get more at milfordmirror.com. And Seymour detectives are attempting to identify the female seen in surveillance photographs. Take a look. Police say she's wanted for questioning in connection to a fraud and larceny investigation. You can find contact information at the Seymour Police Facebook page. They say all tips will remain confidential. And this morning, police are searching for a missing 30-year-old man in a Wallingford park. News 8 reports that there are several police officers and police canines on Northfoot Road after the car of a missing man was found near the Tyler Mill Preserve. A helicopter is also assisting in that search. The unidentified Wallingford man was reported missing to police on Monday night, and his family last made contact with him on Sunday. And in other news, the Lake Zor Authority issued a public health warning that blue-green algae is likely to present a threat to swimmers and pets in the forthcoming recreational season. The Lake Zor Authority said the threat level is contingent on the weather. Now, a dry season intensifies the toxicity, and a rainy climate diminishes the hazard, diluting the presence of the bacteria-like growth. Exposure in high levels is a suspected cause of illnesses as severe as ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease in humans, which is a neurodegenerative disease and can be fatal to pets and livestock. The algae floats on the surface of the water and looks like green paint. Runoff from fertilizer, chemicals, and waste elevates that pollution. The algae was also detected 2 seasons ago, and its presence grew substantially last year. The authorities' 2 police patrol boats are also being prepared for the Memorial Day weekend start of the lake season. 4 communities, Newtown, Monroe, Oxford, and Southbury, share that 909-acre lake. You can get more on that story at monroecourier.com. And Weston police responded to a call at Coley Cemetery on Weston Road about vandalism to headstones. A caller stated that while visiting the cemetery on Mother's Day, he noticed his great-grandmother's stone and the stones of distant relatives were broken. Although the weather was windy the day before, the caller said the stone markers were completely knocked over, which suggests they were defaced in an act of vandalism. There are no suspects at this time, and residents with any information are urged to contact the Weston Police at 203-222-2600. All right, let's get one final look at the forecast with Frank. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And again, it's going to be warmer out today. Temperatures back on the rise. An expected high of 71 that will feel closer to 80 degrees with the humidity factored in. Intervals of sun and clouds throughout the afternoon. We will see some increasing cloud cover later this evening. Shouldn't affect the boys lacrosse semifinals, though. Overcast tonight, and there's a chance for more passing showers heading into Wednesday morning. Early morning clouds tomorrow will make way for partly sunny skies for the afternoon. Temperatures in the mid to high 70s and not as humid out. Again, increasing cloud cover later in the evening. A chance for passing showers overnight that are going to carry into Thursday. And there is more rain on the way Thursday. Periods of on and off showers all day long. Getting heavier towards the afternoon. We are looking at possible thunderstorms as well later in the day. And those rain showers could be carrying overnight into Friday, but it's looking like the sky should clear up by midday Friday, and hopefully the sun is around for the holiday weekend, Kate.
So, all right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break, but still a busy day. 12:30, The Drive with Denise. 2 o'clock, Nutmeg Sports and boys lacrosse semis starting at 5 o'clock live on the HAN network. And we will see you tomorrow for your coffee break at 11. Have a great day.